Leo, Mia, Sam, and Chloe were the best of friends. They just loved adventures more than anything else in the world. And today, their adventure was a big one. They were going to Deep Reach Forest. Grandma Rosie had told them stories, you know. She said a special plant grew there. It was called the sun petal, and supposedly it could heal any sickness. Mia's little brother was unwell, and she really hoped the sun petal was real. So they packed their bags with snacks, water, and a map that Leo had drawn from Grandma Rosie's descriptions. Excitement bubbled inside them like fizzy lemonade as they stood at the edge of the forest, ready for anything. Deep Reach Forest was not like other woods. Sunlight struggled to touch the ground, filtering through the thick leaves in green and gold patterns. Giant trees towered above them, their branches like gnarled arms reaching for the sky. Strange birds called out with musical, echoing songs, and the air felt cool, smelling of damp earth and unknown flowers. A shiver ran down Sam's spine, but honestly, it was a shiver of thrill, not just fear. Chloe, always curious, pointed to a peculiar, glowing moss on a tree trunk and whispered, "Wow, this place feels magical already." This forest held many secrets. The friends stepped onto the narrow, winding path, barely visible under a carpet of fallen leaves. Leo held the map, trying to match it with the ancient trees, while Mia clutched her collecting bag, hoping to fill it with the sun petal. Every rustle in the undergrowth made them jump, then giggle. They walked deeper and deeper, and the sounds of the town faded away completely. Now, only the sounds of the forest surrounded them, the chirping of unseen insects, the distant hoot of an owl, and the soft crunch of their own footsteps. It was a world untouched by time. Chloe, with her sharp eyes, was the first to notice that the plants here were different. Some had leaves bigger than dinner plates, and others glowed with a faint, soft light, even in the daytime. Sam, who just loved animals, kept hoping to see a rare forest creature, maybe squirrels with rainbow tails or even talking rabbits. Leo remained focused on the path, determined to lead them to the healing plant, while Mia thought about her brother, her resolve strengthening with every step. The forest seemed to welcome them and warn them at the same time. It was a place of wonder, but also a place of profound mystery. After about an hour, the path became even fainter. They pushed past large ferns, their leaves brushing against their faces. Suddenly, Leo stopped and gasped, "Look!" He pointed to the muddy ground. There, pressed deep into the earth, was a footprint. But this was no ordinary footprint. It was huge, bigger than all 4 of their feet put together. It had 3 massive toes, each ending in what looked like a claw mark. The friends stared, their eyes wide. What kind of creature could make such a mark? It was way too big for a bear or any animal they knew. A nervous silence fell over the group for a moment. Mia knelt beside the giant footprint, her heart hammering in her chest. Do you think it's old?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Sam touched the edge of the print. The mud was still damp. "It doesn't look very old," he said, his voice trembling just a bit. Chloe, usually brave, took a step back. The forest suddenly felt less magical and more ominous. They looked around, half expecting to see the creature that made it. The trees seemed to watch them with ancient, knowing eyes. The air grew colder, or maybe it was just their fear making them shiver. They decided to press on, but now they walked with more caution. A little further, they found something else. Carved into the side of a large moss-covered rock were strange symbols. They weren't letters they recognized, but looked like pictures, wavy lines, circles, and a drawing of a giant lizard-like creature. Below the symbols, someone long ago had scratched a warning in their own language, "Beware the guardian. Disturb not the sacred sleep." Was it a curse, Leo wondered, or just an old tale to scare people away? The mystery of Deep Reach Forest was deepening with every step they took. The air grew heavy, the bird songs stopped. An eerie silence descended upon them. Then they saw them. Poking out from a tangle of vines and roots were bones. Huge bones, ribs as long as their arms, and a leg bone taller than Sam. They were yellowed with age, but unmistakably real. These must be dinosaur bones," Leo exclaimed, his voice a mix of awe and terror. Just as he said it, a sound echoed through the trees, a low, guttural roar far away, but powerful enough to make the ground tremble slightly. They froze, their adventure suddenly feeling very, very real and dangerous. Fear gripped them. The distant roar came again, closer this time. "We need to hide!" Mia cried. They scrambled behind a thicket of giant ferns, hearts pounding like drums. The ground began to shake more noticeably now. Leaves rustled, and small stones tumbled down a nearby slope. Peeking through the fronds, they saw it. It was colossal, taller than the tallest trees, with skin like ancient leathery bark. A long neck swayed gracefully, and a massive tail swept behind it. It was a real, live dinosaur. Its head high above turned slowly, its large eyes seeming to scan the forest. It let out another deafening roar. Sam and Mia were just too terrified to move. They pressed themselves flat against the earth, hoping the giant creature wouldn't see them. But Leo and Chloe, after the initial shock, felt a spark of their adventurous spirit return. "It didn't see us," Leo whispered. "It's moving away from the path." Chloe nodded, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination. "Those carvings," she breathed. "They showed people with dinosaurs. What if it's not just a monster?" The dinosaur took slow, deliberate steps, its massive feet thudding on the forest floor, shaking the world around them. While Sam and Mia stayed hidden, convinced they should turn back, Leo and Chloe felt an irresistible pull. "We have to see where it's going," Leo said. "Maybe it knows where the sun petal is." Chloe agreed. The warning said guardian, not monster. Cautiously they crept out from their hiding place and followed the dinosaur's trail of broken branches and enormous footprints. They moved slowly, staying hidden among the dense trees and giant roots. The forest seemed to hold its breath, as if watching them, guiding them toward an ancient secret. Their fear was still there, but curiosity was a powerful force. They came to a clearing. Here, on a series of flat rock faces, were more engravings. These were clearer, more detailed. They showed small human figures standing peacefully beside giant dinosaurs, not running in fear. One carving depicted a human offering a glowing plant to a dinosaur. Another showed a dinosaur standing over a tree that shone with an inner light. Leo and Chloe looked at each other. "It's not a curse," Chloe whispered. "It's a story of friendship maybe, or respect." The giant creature they had seen was part of something much bigger, much older than they could have imagined. Following the last of the engravings, Leo and Chloe found themselves at the edge of another, smaller clearing. In the center stood a magnificent tree. It wasn't exceptionally tall, but its leaves shimmered with a soft, golden light. And nestled among its branches were flowers that glowed like tiny suns, the sun petal. But it wasn't unguarded. Standing beside the tree, calm and majestic, was the dinosaur. It was gently nuzzling the glowing leaves, its huge eyes soft and watchful. It wasn't a terrifying beast, it was a protector, the guardian of the sun petal tree. It looked ancient and wise. Just then, Sam and Mia, having overcome their fear enough to follow, cautiously entered the clearing. They stopped dead in their tracks when they saw the dinosaur so close to the glowing tree. But seeing Leo and Chloe standing there, unharmed, and seeing the peaceful nature of the giant creature, their fear began to subside. The dinosaur turned its massive head slowly towards them. It blinked its large, intelligent eye. It made no sound, no threatening move. It simply stood, a silent sentinel, watching them. The air was filled with a gentle warmth from the glowing tree. Mia took a hesitant step forward. "The sun petal," she whispered, her eyes fixed on the glowing flowers. The dinosaur watched her, then lowered its head slightly, as if in acknowledgement. It seemed to understand. Leo realized the stories were true, but not in the way they expected. The dinosaur wasn't a monster to be feared, but a guardian of this sacred place, protecting the healing plant. They understood the ancient warnings now. The curse was meant to keep away those who would harm the forest or exploit its secrets. They carefully picked a few of the glowing sun petals, just enough for Mia's brother. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows through deep reach forest, the four friends made their way back. They carried the precious sun petals and an even more precious secret. "Should we tell anyone? About the dinosaur? About this place?" Sam asked, looking back towards the heart of the forest. Mia shook her head. I don't think so. It's too special. People might not understand. They might want to capture it or destroy its home. Leo and Chloe agreed. Some secrets were meant to be kept. As they reached the edge of the forest, they turned for one last look. High above the trees, they saw a long neck and a gentle head watching them before it disappeared back into the green depths. What other wonders did Deep Reach Forest hold? They knew somehow their adventures here were not truly over.